Welcome again with the Gospel of the Flying Spaghetti Monster. We are going to do chapter 10 and 11 today. Chapter 10 consisting mostly of pictures which depict great historic moments and key moments in the Flying Spaghetti Monster history. I'm not going to show them on the camera. If you want to see those, you can buy the book yourself. Though it also contains a question and answering section which is called Bobby Answers the Big Questions. And I will go through them as well. And then I will start reading the chapter WAPD. Bobby answers the big questions. Question: what sort of pasta is the Flying Spaghetti Monster made of? Wheat? Semolina? Answer: there is some debate about this. Western culture contending he is wheat-based, while in the East they believe he is made of rice or buckwheat. We don't know the truth, or maybe we are not meant to. Question: why do modern-day pirates, sports teams called pirates, and pirate costumes not affect global weather, given that there is a statistically significant link between pirate numbers and global temperature? Calling oneself a pirate or dressing up as one does not make one a true pirate. It takes much more. In what way are modern-day pirates with their speedboats and machine guns similar to the fun-loving adventurous buccaneers from history? How can sport teams with their obsession over rules and regulations claim to embody the mischievous spirit of the pirate? Dressing up as a pirate comes closer, and we can sometimes see an effect on weather. Halloween pirates, for example, are at least trying to emulate true pirate behavior, sometimes with important details such as wenches and gog. We can see solid evidence that they are indeed making a difference on weather patterns. The several months following Halloween are always colder than the several preceding it, just as the pirate's temperature's casual relationship predicts. Talk Like a Pirate Day is another good example of how acting like a pirate can influence the weather. Every September 19th, millions if not thousands of people communicate in pirate speak, a subtle nod to their creator, and a conscientious effort to curb global warming. And with great success. Since its creation several years ago, the temperature on September 19 each year has been colder than on the day I picked scientifically at random, July 10th, without exception. Just a coincidence? Unlikely. Question: how do you reconcile the glaring inconsistencies and contradictions in the FSM religion? Answer: first, all of these seeming flaws were carefully put in place by him to test his followers' faith. Second, a certain amount of inconsistency is necessary for a religion to become widespread. For example, Christianity, Islam, and so on. Question: if the FSM is benevolent, why do bad things happen to good people? Answer: they may have angered him, or it could be that he is too busy, or indifferent for whatever reason, to get involved. He works in mysterious ways that we are not always able to understand. Question: does he hear my prayers? Answer: yes, but that is not to say they will necessarily be answered. To increase your odds, it is recommended that you wear a pirate regalia or at least an eye patch. Question: are the other religions wrong? Answer: no, they are just misguided. We accept comforts from other religions with open arms. Question: what about atheists and the followers of other religions, heathens? Will these peoples go to hell? Answer: no, but they may not be allowed into the best areas of FSM heaven. The safest thing to do is to convert now. Think of it this way. If you convert to Pastafarianism and the FSM turns out not to exist, nothing is lost. On the other hand, if you don't convert and the FSM does exist, then you have just been royally screwed. Question: if there's a beer volcano and a stripper factory in heaven, what is FSM hell like? Answer: we are not entirely certain, but we imagine it's similar to FSM heaven only the beer is stale, and the strippers have venereal diseases, not unlike Las Vegas. Question: are there male strippers in FSM heaven for women? Answer: probably, but they are invisible to the non-homo guys. Question: your religion offends me. Probably Christian beliefs. Answer: that is not a question. Question: your religion offends my beliefs. What should I do about feeling mocked? Answer: our alternative beliefs are in no way mocking your beliefs more than yours mocks ours. FSM believers are peaceful, open-minded, well-educated and reject dogma outright. We have never started a war and have never killed others for their opposing beliefs. Compare our record to yours. Question: where does the FSM exist? We are not exactly sure, because he is invisible most of the time and rarely makes his presence known. Prayers don't seem to reach him until well after they are prayed. This leads us to believe that there is some sort of time dilation effect. Plus, so many prayers are offered to him that even he wouldn't have the time to hear them all without a time dilation effect. For this reason, we suspect he spends a great deal of time orbiting a black hole. Question: does the FSM have a sense of humor? Answer: we can see the FSM sense of humor by looking at the way he deals with other religions. Consider how often evangelical Christians, those who ostensibly promote peace, are aligned with pro-war groups. Clearly, this is the work of the FSM, bringing together opposites. If there was no divine influence, the conflict of interest would be obvious to both groups. That they can't see it smacks of noodly interference. Chapter 11. WAPD? In these trying times, where the world keeps shrinking and the trappings of modern society, cell phones, computers, PDAs, video games, taxes, war, pornography and microwavable dinners, are crowding in around us, oftentimes a person feels lost. Where do we fit in this modern world? What's our purpose on earth? Many are mired in eternal confusion, swept against the shoals of too many choices. Maybe you feel this way right now. If so, don't lose your faith. Instead, close your eyes and think back to a similar time when the choices were fewer, when life passed as long days under the benevolent sun, and a man knew where he stood, even it was on a peg leg. In life, if life has got you down, simply ask yourself, what would a pirate do? Asking this question will no doubt lead you along a path that starts at a local inn, where the first answer awaits you. 1. A pirate would drink some grog. If grog isn't the bread of life, it is certainly what you need to keep that bread from catching in your gullet. Grog opens the mind and frees the soul. It also frees the inhibitions, so be mindful in your search that you don't obtain grog goggles. Too much grog can make for questionable bunkmates, and if you're wearing an eye patch, you're already a couple of cards behind in the game. Once the mind has been appropriately lubricated, you may find that it wanders. This is good, for a wandering mind is a searching mind. And yet, if the mind strays too far, you may find yourself asking the wrong questions or even turning forgetful. Which leads to number 2. A pirate would obtain a parrot. Parrots are renowned across the seas for repeating or parroting the words of humans. When a pirate can't recall what he's just said, he can always just wait a second or two for the parrot to repeat his words. A good parrot is essentially to a happy and prosperous life of plunder, but parrots are about as scarce as pirates these days. In a pinch, you can substitute a computer, PDA, or even a diary to do your parroting for you. But computers, PDA, diaries and parrots are no substitute for a true bonhomie. And drinking alone, even with a parrot perched on your shoulder, is not the pirate way. This brings us to step 3. Find you a band of marauders. All the greats had a merry band of marauders to assist them, toothless, unshaven and smelly. Seek for yourself a group of similar ilk. They will lift you up when you are down, and when you are whipped up into a bloodlust, you will find that they ground you. Blackbird speaks of a time when he was at his most vulnerable. He looked back on the beach to see only one set of foot and peg-leg prints. It was then that his first mate, Oi Longshanks, had carried him along the shore. Words to live by. Once you have found your grog, your parrot and your band of marauders, you are ready to act like a true pirate. And what does a pirate want most? He wants a pirate ship. 4. If you can't steal one, build your ship. A pirate just isn't a pirate if he doesn't own a seaworthy vessel. You may have an eye patch, you may even have a parrot and a peg leg. But the true goal of any pirate worth his weight in doubloons is to gain a means of traveling the 7 seas. A ship gives you true meaning. It provides transport and opens the world to you. Without one, you're just a guy in a funny outfit. So now you have the trappings of a real pirate. What are you going to do with them? 5. Find thee a wench. Or if you're a wench, find thee a pirate. Wenches and pirates go together like spaghetti and spaghetti sauce. Now hit the seas and take what's coming to ya. The journey is a long one, and the voyage can sometimes be monotonous. Long hours spent with the same merry band, consuming the same grog and gruel for months on end. Bunking with the same wench, there's only one way to avoid pirate malaise. 6. When in doubt, plunder. The only way to avoid inaction is to take action. Examine your charts and locate a sleepy fishing village. Then plunder it. Find a town inhabited by wealthy noblemen and plunder them. These days it's too easy to sit back and find excuses. If you want to see what's out there, go see it. Then plunder, plunder, plunder. With these basic pirate principles, you should be able to live out your days in happiness and prosperity. Follow them at all times, remembering their importance most when you're lost in the doldrums. And if by chance you find that you still can't put wind into your sails, remember this last point. 7. R. To accept the pirate life is to accept the eternal R. Without it, you're just another landlubber. And with that we conclude this episode of the Gospel of the Flying Spaghetti Monster. I hope you liked it. Please subscribe if you want to be updated. Hit the like button and share with anyone you think might need to hear these words as well. Thank you again. See you next episode.